Welcome back, Kerbonauts. So we're sitting here with Jebediah on the launch pad with the Krebin 5 ship. Now, if you watched the previous episode, you'll know that we went through 1 through 3 on our Krebin ships. The fourth one I actually launched late last night and was able to circle Mun with it and return safely back to Kerbin. So our fledgling space program is actually getting off the ground fairly quickly. As I said, this is the Krebin 5. And I've actually unlocked the parts necessary in order to do asparagus staging on it. So as you can see, I've got the fuel ducts going. So we are on our way to try and attempt to land on Mun with Jebediah. Hopefully we can make it this time. As I said, last time I could have probably landed, but I doubt that I had the fuel to get Jebediah all the way back to Kerbin with one launch. So I opted to go ahead and have him orbit, and that be it. And we returned him back and got about 210 science out of that mission. So hopefully this time we can get a little bit more from it. And you actually, yeah, we're actually doing fairly good. Go ahead and throttle down. So I'm trying to keep my speed fairly low as we pass through the thickest part of the atmosphere. As you can see up here at the top on the barometer, we're still very, very deep inside Kerbin's atmosphere, so hopefully we'll be able to get out of this fairly quickly. Sorry about that, guys. I still got a cold right now. I do have MechJeb installed, and it is going right now. It doesn't really have much on there currently, but we're getting there. We're getting there, people. So we're getting ready for the second stage separation. Let's see if I get my staging correct. I did. Good. So far the launch has gone off without a hitch. So we're just keeping our speed steady right now. We're still burning. We got plenty of fuel left. So I'm not too worried on the fuel aspect. We are still going to have a fully fueled main section in the middle too. So I think we're actually good to go. So we're about ready to throttle up to full throttles. We're passing about 13. We'll throttle up here shortly. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're getting to 14,000. And then we'll actually begin to go ahead and pitch over ever so slightly towards the 90-degree mark as we throttle up, and this way we can begin to elongate our orbit out, and we're also beginning to spin a little bit. So let's turn SAS back on as we keep flying. So we're actually good. We actually got plenty of fuel in the top stages as well. As you can see, I've actually got 4 engines up there with a lot of fuel on board as well. So we actually got plenty of fuel to land and then hopefully get back out and come back to Kerbin with it. So we're going to try and fix our orbit here a little bit. So that's the next stage. That stage is now separating and we're good to go. Now we're on the final main center stage of the burn. And hopefully this will be enough to put us into our Mun trajectory. If not, we still have plenty of fuel. So we're still rocking and rolling. Let's go ahead and tilt on over here a little bit. Don't want to go too far though, because we are still in the atmosphere. So let's hit SAS on about right there again. Let's check the map out. What are we doing here? So apoapsis is 67,000. That's not bad. We're still going. And Jebediah is still loving it down there. Man, he's having a great time on the little camera down there. I would be excited as well. Be the first Kerbal to reach Mun's surface safely. Yeah, I'd be excited as hell. So what I'm actually going to do right here, guys, I think I'm actually going to pause the video and then I shall pick it back up once we reach low Munner orbit. So we'll be right back, guys. Welcome back, guys. So here we are. We're approaching the burn to put us into Munner orbit. So it's in about 9 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and time warp a little bit up here to it. As you can see, it's going to put us in a relatively lower orbit. We did expend a lot of fuel to get here, but I think we have enough fuel to land and certainly take back off, I know. So let's go ahead and do this burn, and that way we will be in about 100,000 orbit or so. So I'm actually going to burn a little more than what that maneuver node tells me in order to put me in a relatively low orbit of about 13,000. That works right there. So we're going to go ahead and kill that thing right there. And then we're going to come on this side and we're going to do another burn that will put us in about a circular orbit as much as possible. We want to land on the daytime side as well. I'm not going to try to do any inclination changes, because quite frankly, I don't really have a lot of fuel left to do that with. So we're just going to do the basic landing here with this ship. As I said, I mean, we still got the really basic parts. I can't really make any of my mega ships that I usually make in sandbox mode. That gets me all the way out to Jewel. So we're actually going to do the best that we can with just the basic stuff. So slingshot around the dark side of the moon here. Hopefully there won't be any transformers back here. So we'll stop time warp, and I'm actually going to go ahead and burn a little early. Hopefully we should have enough fuel. So let's do it like this. Okay. So right there, so we're going to go ahead and auto-save this in case something goes terribly wrong. We don't want to kill Jebediah. If it was one of the lesser-known astronauts, then I'd be all about killing him. But it's Jebediah. You can't let Jebediah die. So what we're actually going to do is when we get to Apoaps, we are going to kill as much velocity as possible right there and see if we can't. Well, let's go ahead and fire the engines. Let's go ahead and bring us in. So we're actually going to abandon that a little bit. So where are we? So now we're inside of the atmosphere, and let's go ahead and time warp a little bit closer as we come flying around the planet here. So I'm going to go ahead and extend my landing gear as well. So we're on the daytime side. Let's go ahead and turn that down. Stop the time warp, and we are going to go ahead and do our burn to slow us down for landing. So let's look on the map. Where's a good landing point? So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go past this crater right here. I really don't want to land in that. It looks like it's going to be difficult to land in. So we're actually running out of time fairly quickly. So we're going to go ahead and do our burn about right here. So throttle up. And let's kill our velocity as much as possible. I would really like to be able to land with a lot of fuel left, so I don't think that's going to be possible though. And, oh my goodness, no it's not. That's not good at all. So we may not be able to get Jebediah back off the ground. Oh well, that just means we get to send a rescue mission to pick him up. So that's not too bad. So hopefully, let's, good Lord mine, come on, kill this velocity already. So as you can see, my retrograde's changing here as we're still burning. And we're slowly approaching vertical, so I'm going to go ahead and kill the engine. And let gravity start pulling us down here. Where are we at? Ah, cool, right next to a whole bunch of craters. That's kind of cool. I don't really see anything around us, but a whole bunch of craters, and that's it. Come on, landing gear out. Let's catch up to our retrograde here really quick. And I will time warp just a little bit. We are rapidly speeding up. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the engine back on as well to slow us down, because we don't want to hit the ground going too fast, especially with Jebediah on board. Excuse me, guys. So we'll stop with burn right there. We are almost there. As you can see, we're almost traveling vertical now. Now the altimeter says we're at 3,700 meters, but the that could be wrong. We may not be exactly 3,700 meters. We may be more like 3,000 or so from the ground. I don't know how it's measured on Mun, but on Kerbin it's from sea level. And a lot of the mountains in Kerbin are much higher than that, and will actually cause you to crash fairly frequently if you don't pay attention to the ground. So we're actually watching the ground right here, as well as our speed. So as soon as we land, we'll do all of our science, and then we'll throttle back up once we get Jebediah back on board, and we will actually jettison the 3 stages on us as well. So continue burning, slowing us down, slow us down a little bit faster, well, almost too much. And we have landed. Jebediah is the first Kerbal to have landed on Mun. So let's go ahead and do our science here real quick while we're sitting here. So observe the mystery goo while we're at it. The goo seems to be less dense here. Keep the data. And we'll go ahead and observe this mystery goo. It's going to tell us the same thing. The goo seems to be less dense. Cool. Keep the data. Log the magnetometer data. A very faint magnetic field is detected on the Mun's surface. Keep that data. Log it from this side. We'll keep that data as well. What do we got here? We've got more science on here somewhere. Let's go ahead and do the materials bay. You leave the sample bay doors open on the Mun and go do something else for a while. So 100 science, keep the data. So that's a lot of science. We have a thermometer on the back, log temperature data, collected and recorded temperature data from the environment. 32 science, keep the data. And then collect the laser data from the ground. High concentrations of silicates are detected here. The Mun is starting to seem very similar to Kerbin in this regard. 24 science, keep that data. So I believe that is all the science that we can do for now, minus doing it. And let's go ahead and do a crew report while we're at it. 20 science for that. Let's go ahead and get Jebediah out. Go down the ladder, jump off, and just fall to the ground. Ouch. Good thing there's not a lot of gravity here. He is one happy Kerbal right now. Whee! Jump for joy. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and land and throw the flag back out. So plant the flag, Jebediah. And what shall we say? We'll say Krebin 5 landing. And then I forgot my chips. Okay. So now when an alien race ever finds this, they'll see the planet Kerbin, and can we see it above us? We can. It's directly above us, though. So the alien race will know where we came from, where the Kerbals came from, and what's up with my camera? I think my camera view is there. It is. I was kind of stuck on the side of this hill real quick. So EVA report: the dust is getting everywhere. 32 science. Well, shall I keep that? Take a surface sample while we are here. The darker midland surface appears to be made of basaltic rocks. 120 science. Keep that data. So the next time we land on Mun, we don't need to land in the mid-latitudes. We need to land on one of the poles or down deep in a crater. So we've already got science collected from this area. So it's time to go back home, Jebediah. You've spent a few minutes here. So RCS on your backpack on. Jump. And I said RCS on. Ah! We crashed. Get up! Get up! Alright, this time we got it. Grab a hold and let's go back up and get in. And we will lift off. So let's board. Retract the magnetometers. Retract the magnetometers. Let's autosave again. And we want to head, I guess 270 since we're already leaning that direction. We've got all of our science done. And the first thing we're going to do is we are actually going to throttle up and immediately pitch over. And we're going to jettison all of that stuff. So we don't need that stuff anymore. And we are heading home. So we're leaving all of our trash behind next to the Kerbin 5 landing spots. So we are rapidly gaining altitude and speed. Hopefully we will have enough fuel to get us back to Kerbin. If not, we're going to have to send a rescue mission out here to gather up Jebediah and hopefully put more fuel into the ship. And I do have the Kerbal attachment system, so I do have the fuel, the placeable fuel ducts, so we can transfer fuel from one ship to another. So we can just send up a massive gas tanker if we had to. So let's go ahead and stop that, and let's go ahead and see if we can go straight up into orbit here. How much fuel we got? We got plenty still, so we're not hurting too bad on fuel. We were leaving Mun behind. Let's stop right there. So autosave it and go ahead and time warp away from Mun. Goodbye, Mun. Jebediah loved you. So time warp way on out here. We're almost there. and we are outside one's influence. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait till apoapse in 12 hours, and then we will use every bit of fuel we got left to try and bring us back down to the ground. So let's see here. Can we bounce around the mun again? No, we cannot. So we're actually just going to burn everything we can. And let's get that back down to... We don't have to get it to disappear. We just have to get close. I think I could be closer than 100,000. 36,000, that works. 200 meters per second. I think we got that fuel left on us. So let's go ahead and do that right there, and we shall time warp to this. So hopefully Jebediah will make it back to Kerbin safely after landing on Mun. This will be a huge step forward for the Kerbal space program. It's only taken them 5 flights to reach their moon, and it took humanity... I don't know how many was in Apollo or in Gemini and Mercury, but it was quite a few. So we're almost there to the burn. 10 seconds. Go ahead and do the burn. We will use most of our remaining fuel, if not all of it. I hope not all of it, because I'd like to have some for the landing. Because I, quite frankly, don't have any landing legs on here. I put them on that other stage. So we're almost out of fuel, but we're almost there as well. And I think we got it. Do we have it? Let's get rid of that, and we do. Cool. So Jebediah is on his way back home. So with this, guys, I think I'm not really going to show you the landing because we've all seen dozens of landings. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to stop the video here. What was that? Weird. And there's a glitch or something. Weird. Down at the bottom of my screen. Oh well, that's probably one of the mods. But anyways, guys, I'm going to end the video here, and I'd like to thank you for watching it. And until next time, guys, good luck and safe travels.